Hey Salceologists, Happy New Year! Did you miss me? I missed you guys. Today I'm heading out to Nobu for a New Year's Day dinner with one of the girls, so come and get ready with me while we talk about New Year's goals for 2025. I'm a big believer that the way that you start your new year is going to be the vibe for the rest of the year. Now, for me, it's not so much how I spend the New Year's, it's more of the energetic vibe that I'm sitting in when the year starts. At the start of a new year, I feel like there's a lot of energetic momentum because the year is starting back up again, and I don't like to be low vibration during this time. I like to keep my energy high and my thoughts really positive, again, to set the tone for the rest of the year. My family and I usually spend Christmas and New Year's in the Philippines. Straight after New Year's, I usually go to the Boracay Islands to just chill there for a few days. It's paradise. I wanted to start building my foundation here in Melbourne. Never really stayed in the same place for longer than a couple of years. So the fact that I am more focused on building my foundation here says a lot. Intuitively, I usually get a bit of a sense of what the year might be like for me. For example, last year, I kept having the same sort of repetitive themes in my life constantly happening over and over again, and the theme was basically to slow down. It felt like a massive chapter in my life that came to completion. I'm pretty sure I burnt myself out. I have been on the grind. If I wasn't working, I was studying. Sometimes I would be working more than one job, 2, 3 jobs at the same time while studying. Add a pandemic on top of that. I haven't had a break in the last nearly 2 decades. So my main goal for 2025 is not be in my masculine energy so much this year and try to cultivate and sit in my feminine energy a little bit more. I tend to sit in my masculine energy a lot than the average woman. And what I mean by this is masculine energy is all about assertiveness, taking action, strategic planning, being the provider, being in an energy of forward movement, I guess you could say. In my career, in business, taking care of the people that I love, you always have to be one step ahead of the game and always anticipating what's next and always planning things and being strategic about everything that's going on. In business, I can't just sit on my bum and do nothing and expect the business to grow. I have to take action every day. The problem is if you sit in this energy all the time, it can actually be detrimental to us as women. Feminine energy is the complete opposite of masculinity. Instead of it being action focused and action oriented, it's the opposite energy of stillness. Feminine energy in its true sense is actually very, very powerful when it's harnessed properly. So associated with creativity, your intuition, being nurturing. There's a time and a place to take action towards the things that you want. And there is a time and a place to be still in your energy to allow things to come to you. And if you think about it, it does make sense. If you're so busy chasing something or always on the move and just energetically, you're just chaotic all the time. It's really hard for all the good things that you want to come into your life to catch up with you because you're so busy just on the move all the time. And I always remember this saying and try to apply it in my life. I don't do it enough, actually. I don't do it that very well. So this year, that's my focus. I've taken enough initiative in aspects of my life. I just want to exist this year. I don't want to pursue anything. I just want to go with the flow and just, follow my creative passions, I guess. In terms of New Year's resolutions, I know that lots of people have resolutions and things that they do every year, and that's fine. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I have a list of goals that I want to achieve each year. Some of the goals are a bit smaller. Like, for example, this year I really want to stop wearing black all the time. I just wanted to change up my look a bit this year and, wear a bit more colors and, change up my style a bit. But I also have some big goals that I have written down each year. These goals are so big that they are not goals that I could complete in a year. They're goals that have carried over from many years ago that just keep rolling over each year. I do not tell anyone about what these goals are. They're very personal. I believe that you should not announce anything unless it's solid. Only I know what those goals are, and I just chip away at them every year to get one step closer to achieving them. Having smaller goals to achieve throughout the year is very helpful when you are achieving the bigger goals. The bigger goals that take a bit more time tend to not give you the validation and the reassurance that you need that you're on the right track sometimes. Sometimes when I'm working on something for a long time, I do doubt myself. If I'm not seeing these results, then maybe it means that it's not working out. Obviously we try not to think like that. For me, I like to work on achieving the smaller goals as well, so that when you achieve something, it can give you that reassurance you need to just keep going. But anyway, that's sort of how I pan out my new year to try and achieve as much success as possible. I'm very interested to know if you have a different approach in the way that you start your new year, or you have certain beliefs about the new year that you want to share in the comments. I'd love to know what my audience is working on this year, where your mindset is at this year. I'd love to know more actually. So yeah, leave me a comment. Once I finished with my hair and makeup, I put on some of our Salceology pieces. I'll link them below. And I also put together some gift bags for the friend that I'm meeting up with, because she purchased a few sets from us as well. And let's go to Nobu. I'm back. Guess who's back in 2025? So I think it's safe to say that my 2025 has started off with an amazing view, awesome company, good vibes, amazing food, intellectual conversation, and goal setting for the rest of the year. All of my absolute favorite things in life. I think it's going to be a good year. The funniest coincidence just happened to me at this cafe that I went to. I'll tell you guys a story about it when I get home, just because I have to run some errands first, but it's juicy. Anyway, it's not making sense right now. I haven't told you guys the story, but yeah, let me go home. I'll explain everything. See ya. Okay, we just got back home after running some errands. I can finally tell you guys the gossip and what happened today. Pre-warning, it's going to be a bit of a long one, but I promise there's a point to it and it's interesting. So grab a drink, grab a snack, I don't know, blanket. No, not a blanket, it's summertime. Just grab something and yeah, let's talk about it. So I went out for brunch today. I just woke up this morning. For some reason, I just decided to go out and eat somewhere. So I found a random cafe around the Footscray area. I just put it in my maps and just decided to just go. So when I eventually showed up to the cafe and pulled up, I realized that this cafe that I put in the maps was a cafe that I've already been to. I didn't really like the food at this cafe, so I was really annoyed at myself. I pulled over on the side of the street and I just Googled cafes nearby. I found another one. It was so random. Like, I just literally Googled and then whatever popped up with a nice menu, I was like, yeah, that one looks good. And I started driving to it. So I drove another 5 minutes and pulled up to this new cafe that I have never been to before. It looked nice in the pictures. I went inside. It was actually very cute. So I took out my laptop and I was looking through the menu and everything. And while I was doing that, a waitress at the cafe came up to me and was like, "Hi, are you Angela?" I'm like, am I in trouble? Like, I just was just so out of it. And I was like, yeah, I am. I could tell that I knew her from somewhere. I just didn't remember where. She turned around to me and she said, "It's blah, blah, blah." I won't use her name. I'll call her Sarah. Sarah's not her name. She's like, "It's Sarah from the university that you used to teach at." She was actually the administration staff at the faculty of the university that I used to work for. She was the one that used to give me my teaching hours. What a coincidence that out of all the people, out of all the places that I ended up bumping into her here. I was a bit confused though because she was waitressing at this cafe. So of course we had a conversation. I was like, "Okay, are you still there?" You know, and she's like, "Yeah, I still work there. I'm still in the faculty. I'm still doing the contracts for the sessionals." She's like, "But my husband owns this cafe, so I help out on the weekends." Of course, she was asking some questions, you know, whether I was here temporarily for the holidays or if I actually came back now. So, you know, I was just explaining to her, I'm back now. I'm still working in my public health profession. I'm just outposted for 12 months and all of these things. And then we were just talking about teaching and I was telling her, I'm like, "Look, I really miss teaching sometimes. I really miss going back into academia." And she's like, "You know, Angela, if you want to teach next year, like in public health or whatever it is that you used to teach before, I'm more than happy to get you back on a contract and get you teaching those units again. Just let me know." And I was like, that's a thought. Like, it's been in the back of my mind. I didn't think I would go back and teach. I sort of thought that I was kind of cut off from that. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Let me have a think about it over the holidays and I might touch base with you in the new year. So she's like, yeah, just let me know. Just send me an email. All right, I'll have a think about it. So, you know, I just kind of did my thing and then I paid and I left and I just sat in the car and I was like, what a coincidence. Like, I had no intention of going to that cafe today. It was just random. And it just so happens that someone that I knew there from my past was there. That's the weird thing that happened today. Which leads me to my next topic to talk about and update you guys on, which is my studies. I was tossing up between going into medicine and pursuing a medical career as a doctor or doing a PhD and going into research. I've been tossing up this decision for months, for years actually. Finally, this last couple of weeks, I finally figured it out. I've made my decision. So I've decided to do a PhD. This was a very long decision, that took a lot of thinking, a lot of planning and just weighing up my options. So I decided to do a PhD for a lot of different reasons. I'm ready to specialize and tailor my career to becoming an expert in a particular niche area in public health. I have a few ideas of where I would like to take my research. Again, there's a lot of factors involved. When you are choosing a topic for PhDs, you need to be accepted at a university first. There needs to be supervisors that are willing to take you on board with the topic that you want to do. We still have to figure all of these things out because I don't want to rush this decision. This is a 4-year commitment, maybe even 3 to 4 year commitment that I'm about to go into. We want to do it properly. I want to give myself the best possible opportunity to succeed. If I do get in, if I survive, then I will be the first doctor in my family. And as you know, when you are the first to do anything in life, it's hard. Not only am I trying to navigate research for 4 years, I also have to figure out navigating through like the research system, how everything works, and all of that stuff again. I need some time to figure this out. And in my case, I also have to factor in my current jobs and roles as well. Different jobs and organizations have different levels of support mechanisms for staff who want to upskill. You have to sort of find out what those mechanisms are and see how it can support you in your studies. So what I've decided to do is pursue a PhD, but I want to start it in 12 months' time. I'm pushing my start, if I get accepted, that is. I haven't even applied yet, okay? We're leaving it up to fate. We're going to apply for 2026 enrollment into a PhD program. And I know what you're probably thinking, 12 months is a long time. Why not just do it next year? The truth is, I don't want to do it next year. This is the first time in a very long time, in many, many years, that I actually am earning enough and have stability in my life to be able to pursue my other passions. For example, YouTube, my business, traveling, like fun things, A PhD can wait. A PhD will always be there. The time that I have now to pursue my other passions might not be here. While I'm single, while I'm in Melbourne, while we've got time, we're doing it. So that is why I've postponed the studies till 12 months later. It also gives me the opportunity to line my ducks in a row, as they say. How is this going to work? How is this going to work with the business? Where am I going to live? Which university is going to take me? The university I'm currently looking at is in Canberra. Does that mean I have to move back? There are so many things to figure out. Everything has to line up first for this to even work out. And if it doesn't work out, I'm not going to be too mad about it. I have many degrees already. It will happen if it's meant to happen. And if it doesn't, then cool. I get to live my life. Watch this space. It's going to get interesting. For Christmas, I bought myself a new juicer and a new blender. Another goal of mine this year is to take better care of my body. I had been sick more times last year than the 33 years I've been alive. So that was a big wake-up call for me to stop neglecting my body and to nurture her more. So I've been making these immune-boosting juices for myself and my family who's also been really sick. I've been making a lot of green juices as well and then putting them in glass jars in the fridge to have every day. Next time I make a batch, I'll film it for you guys. I made fresh mango shakes the other day with fresh mangoes in it. I was very proud of myself. It's my grandma's birthday today. She's passed away. So we buy flowers for her to put in a vase just to celebrate her today. There we go. Happy birthday, Lola. We miss you. I'd like to think that you're watching over us and keeping us safe. I'm trying to steer the content away from vlogs and maybe do vlogs fortnightly or monthly and focus on other content now. I just didn't really have a very nice backdrop to do it all. You don't need a backdrop, but I prefer to have one. We're doing a reaction video today. I don't know how to do a reaction video and set it up properly, but we're figuring that out as we always do. And it's so hot. I'm sweating, but yes, let's try and figure this out. Oh, and I also am wearing new jewelry. It's not new, it's just I don't usually wear silver. So we've got the silver estrogen on today, which is new for me. Looks very nice. Our second most popular color is silver. This was my first day back in the office for 2025 after having a couple of weeks off. So it was definitely a struggle this morning. My brother has a summer internship at the moment and he has to travel to the eastern suburbs every morning. So I let him use my car for the internship while I take public transport every time I go to the office. One of the main reasons why I moved back to Melbourne and moved back home with my family is to support my brother while he's studying at the moment. My brother is 10 years younger than me, so he's doing his master's at the moment. He's halfway through, he's got 1 more year left. So I just try and do what I can to make sure that he graduates and has the best possible trajectory for the start of his career. When I did my master's many years ago in public health, I had to move interstate for the master's and I was living alone, working 2 jobs. I didn't really have a lot of support while I was doing it. And on top of that, I'm the first in my family to get a postgraduate qualification as well. So that was also another added stress of just trying to understand the system. Support was something that I wish I had throughout my studies. And although I'm very proud of my brother for the things he's accomplished so far, and I know that he's more than capable and probably doesn't need my help, it's just my way of looking out for the people that I care about. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this vlog if you made it all the way through. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.